What's so crazy about having waves in your veins? And they tell me I can't keep the oceans in my ribs, but I do, that dangerous things live there. There have been stories told by ex-lovers of beluga whale monsters, mermaids that disappear at the sound of love, while the waves that will swallow you whole, while the sharks that are more afraid of you than you are of them hide behind my bones. But despite all of this, the manatees and the coral are enough to keep the tidal pulse in my veins, so I'm swimming. I've got the touch of beautiful people in my shivers. Even though I don't know the meaning of I do, I know the meaning of quivers and shattered heart anxiety, revived by butterflies in my stomach, and that's enough to get me by for now. But it's a funny thing when we chase the feeling of butterflies, but never consider the lifespan of butterflies. And though this and the wind, there are words that I have a hard time catching. I'm trying my best to grab them and keep them in mason jars because the fireflies and sea salts, when I get home, I'll have more poems to write and stories to tell, because every day is a new chance to look at the same things differently. To stand in the rain with no umbrella, because the rain is just the sky wanting to touch you. When I first learned about death, my grandfather found me ankle deep in the ocean, and he explained to me that death was just another word for the way the seasons moved. He'd always say, listen to the birds and the crickets chirping away, because everything with song has a sound to sing, and everything that breathes has something to say, so listen. Just because this thing called reality tells you that you can't breathe stars, French kiss raindrops, or snuggle with clouds, grow tulips in your hands, you can. Plant peony seeds in the crooks of your elbows. When you meet them again, you will be reminded that when their hearts stopped beating, yours kept beating for them. My grandfather taught me to practice hugs and handshakes, because that's what saves people. He'd say, never believe that refraining from cursing or saying your prayers will get you any closer to heaven or further from hell. He'd say, my grandmother, she swore like a sailor, but he's pretty sure she's drinking wine with Jesus, because to him she was a saint. My grandfather would always say, don't be afraid to pull the bricks from your feet and skip to your next location, because the greatest distance is still the one within you, because in the end, who is to say what is true? Who is to tell you who you should love, who you should be, what is real, and what to believe, when reality was only created to make another category that would define a certain group of people as the others? When my grandfather died, the pastor told me that my grandfather would always tell him about his granddaughter, who kept the ocean in her ribs and the waves in her veins, despite all the terrible things that people say it contains. He explained to me that death was just another word for the way the seasons moved.